Hello, it's Jim Hutchins for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this 21st day of August, 2017, on this day of the eclipse. We've talked about that, but I want to refer to an article, a really rather remarkable article, I think, from a Israeli news outlet, Breaking Israel News, it's entitled. And the article that appeared there is entitled, and I want to read some excerpts from it. When will Messiah come? That's the question. The answer, it depends on the Jews. The coming of the Messiah depends on the Jews. And there's a quote to begin the article. It says, "To do what is right and just is more desired by Hashem, by God, than sacrifice." Do what is right is more important than sacrifice. If the Jewish people behave well, they can bring the Messianic era quicker, according to Rabbi Ilan Adler. But when Jews shame God's name or even treat each other poorly, they push the Messianic era further away. Rabbi Adler explained that how a Jewish person looks, how he behaves and carries himself in front of non-Jews can push the nations closer or farther from Hashem, from God, and his teaching. We have it in our behavior repertoire, Rabbi says, to create big applause for God or go the other way and shame God by the way we behave. The rabbi noted that God places greater importance on how Jews behave toward one another than on a ritual. He said the temple wasn't destroyed because we didn't cut the challah, the bread, Friday bread, in the right place. Not because of how long the person's seat or in the shtetl, men wear the seat, and women wear the shtetl, it's a wig. It had nothing to do with ritual. It was all because of our behavior. Rabbi Adler said that the coming of the Messianic era depends predominantly on how Jews behave. When Jews are more God-conscious, when Jews make God look good in the world and are kind, considerate, and decent human beings, the Messianic days come closer. And finally, he says, modeling superior behavior, that is what will usher in Mashiach, the Jewish Messiah. Modeling superior behavior. So it's the works that they do, according to this rabbi, that they do. But I would suggest that there is a very significant factor that's overlooked, at least from the Christian standpoint and from the standpoint of the New Testament. Jesus referred to it. And Jesus, you will remember, was condemned because he identified himself as God. The high priest asked him, tell us, you're under oath. Are you the Messiah? Are you the Son of the living God? And Jesus said, I am. I am. It's a prelude to an understanding of Yahweh. And he was condemned. The high priest tore his clothes and said, we've heard enough. This is blasphemy. And they decided to kill him on that basis, and they turned him over to the Romans. The Romans put him on the cross. But Jesus said this, and it is, I would suggest to you, the determining factor as far as the Jews are concerned and the coming of the Messiah. He said it in Matthew chapter 23 and verse 39. He's speaking to the religious leaders of his day. And he said, you will not see me again until you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahweh. Not Hashem, not Adonai, Hashem, or Yahweh. And that's a quote from Psalm 118, verse 26. You will not see me again until you say, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh. And in saying that, there will be a remnant. And all indications are it's a remnant. It's not all of Jewry. But the indications are that a remnant will, in fact, confess that Jesus is identified as God, as the Messiah, as Yahweh in human flesh. So a lot does depend upon what the Jews do. But most specifically, will they say of Jesus, Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh, blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahweh. They identify Jesus as Yahweh in human flesh. Till next week, Od Ki Yavo Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivarech Yahweh. Yahweh bless you, bless those you love, bless those who love you.